Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Thank you very much for tuning into this channel. Do please like and subscribe. It only takes a sec. Just click the like button. It really helps. Yeah, now I want to talk today about the new government and what they're going to do about the overcrowding in HM prisons. Well, the proposition seems to be that they have decided they're going to build further half a dozen massive supermax prisons and use these to incarcerate a further 20,000 prisoners. These prisoners, I wonder who are they? Are they a threat to society? Well, not really. I mean, unless you consider not paying your TV licence and failing to find the money for a parking fine or a speeding ticket, unless you consider that to be a threat to society, then probably not. What they are doing, I mean, all right, we've got to start locking up police constables, prison officers, chief constables, nurses, teachers. Listen, there's a video on BBC iPlayer about the headmaster that he was a super head, yeah, and he used his position to groom young girls and take them off in his car. And one of the things he had them to do was drink great copious amounts of water and then urinate on him. I mean, come on. I mean, the man's behind bars now. He's serving 17 years. You look it up on BBC iPlayer. He was from Wales, actually. Superhead, yeah. And of course, we have got the nurse that's behind bars now, Lucy Letby. She killed 7 children, tried to murder some more. There are some strange people in the world today. Where is it? What is it coming to? Well, it's coming to the point where we're going to end up like America with approximately 1 or 2% of the population behind bars. And it seems to me that what I believe is going to happen here is that we're going to end up with the same kind of situation in America, 3 strikes and you're out. Because you've got people who are committing offences like burglary, aggravated burglary, rape, muggings, grievous bodily harm. These are the people who are really threatening our society. I'll tell you what, that Donald Trump thing, it's catching into you. Start playing an invisible accordion. You see, it's all like this, you see. Never happened before in the whole history of the country. Never happened before. He's bloody mad, him, isn't he? They should lock that bastard up. Stick him in a supermax prison. Anyway, so what they are going to do, is they're going to build all these prisons, and they're building another one next to HMP Wymont, HMP Garth. They're going to call it HMP Chorley. I mean, they're turning the whole bloody place into a prison. And this is all in one little corner of Lancashire. There's going to be 3 big maximum security prisons within half a mile of each other. Why is that? Because there's some spare land there, or are they just not bothered about Lancashire? I don't know. It just beggars belief. And I can see, that the inner city prisons are no longer fit for purpose. We discussed this the other day. The inner city jails like Wormwood Scrubs, Wandsworth, Pentonville, Strangeways, they're just a blot on the landscape, and they are actually in the way of development. In Manchester, they've got the Mayor of Manchester, Andy Burnham, who is saying that he would like to see the whole of that side of Manchester, which is an area that it roughly goes under the location called Cheetham Hill, actually demolished and rebuilt because he wants to take out Manchester that way. If you've ever been to Manchester recently, it's a massive, starting to look like New York. But as you get just past the end of Deansgate, past the cathedral, keep going down Bury New Road, there on the right hand side, Big blot on the landscape, the ugly old jail built in 1868 with its 250-foot tower. That used to be a landmark in the area, you know, not anymore. All these towering skyscraper blocks are dwarfing it. But strange ways, it just looks like a disgrace, and it's crumbling, despite the fact that they rebuilt it in 1990s. That's 30-odd years ago now. Hard to believe, isn't it? It's 30-odd years since the riot. Anyway, we've got a new government in. We're going to have a new Home Secretary, a new Minister of Justice, but we aren't going to have any new thinking because they've already set out the plans. They're going to have 6 supermax prisons scattered all over the place and fill them up with another 20,000 inmates, and don't think they can't find them. They'll find them all right. They'll just make it imprisonable offences. I don't know, stirring your tea the wrong way, something like that. And also, I don't think you've noticed, it's coming in now. They're going to start cracking down on the motorists. Listen, let me tell you what this is. In London, they have what's known as think tanks, where they have people who I would call them pseudo-intellectuals. People like Cummings, you know, the guy who went up to Durham or somewhere like that, was it? Yeah, up there in his car from London during the lockdown, said he had an optician's appointment or something, or a dentist appointment, some nonsense like that. It was my 50th wedding anniversary during the lockdown when nobody came. I wonder why. Because we were abiding by the lockdown, not Boris Johnson and his mates. And that party was attended also by Rishi Sunak. Yeah, I mean, they had a party. What did I have? Me and my wife. Well, we're perfectly happy, all right, not a problem. And to us, it's just another day, but it was our 50th anniversary and nobody came. We were planning a big garden party. I was even thinking of getting a bloody brass band in, but as it happened, nothing. So they're going to build all these extra prisons. I don't believe there's any new thinking. They're listening to these crazy pseudo-intellectual think tanks who are saying what we'll do is we'll have more prisons. That's what we've got to build, more prisons. And mark my words, they will introduce 3 strikes and you're out. Very much sure that they're going to do that. And of course the problem is once you've committed 3 reasonably serious offences, you're in there and you're not getting out. What are you going to do with your life? And it's no good. They say the first rule of the prison service is that they're going to rehabilitate the inmates. You can't rehabilitate inmates that are locked 3 into a cell 23 hours a day. That's not rehabilitation. That's putting them into what Norman Brown famously termed as a human warehouse. And that's where we're at the moment. But if you've got any chance to speak to your MP, your Labour MP, your member of the Parliament, tell them we don't want all these prisons. We want some thinking about how to actually rehabilitate offenders. Give them some hope, give them some education, train them for a proper job and get it working, because what we've got at the moment isn't working, and the hostess system is an insult to humanity. It's never been tested. It's never been risk assessed. Would you allow your 18-year-old daughter to go and work at Strangeways with a big hat, a set of keys, locking blokes up? You've only got to open the paper every week. One of these hostesses is getting banged up herself for getting banged up. Yep, here we go. It's ding dong ding. Sorry folks, still not found me song dinger. I want to read you a poem now. Alright, sorry the light's getting in the way. Well, I'll put it up there. Let me get it up there. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, I can see now, just about, yeah. This is a poem that I wrote in my book. Yeah, you can see my book here, my poetry book. Flowers and Collected Poems by John G. Sutton. This is 50. Oh yeah, piss off. Yeah, this is 50. This poem is called 50. And it's about what it's like to start getting older. And I thought I was getting older at 50. I wrote this some years ago. I am now 75 on the 6th of August. So I'd like to thank you all in advance for my birthday presents. I particularly like Jack Daniels, by the way. And Hamlet cigars. I smoke a cigar now and again. Oh, Hamlet, not really cigars, are they? Panatellas. Anyway, this is the poem 50. When the police look like youngsters and 10 o'clock is late, when the wine needs extra water, then you know you've met your fate. And the day begins at 5 because you just can't sleep. And the hill you used to run up is now just far too steep. When Sunday is for housework instead of coming round, then you know that Father Time is starting to gain ground. And the younger generation, they're a proper feckless crew. Then you know that you are aged. And the daft old bat, it's you. When the person in your mirror you can hardly recognise, and you know that you've got old without becoming wise, then you forget the location of the car parking lot, and the pubs are far too noisy, then you know you've lost the plot. When sexual relations require an appointment, assisted by application of a certain kind of ointment, when Farmer Giles comes calling every time you take a seat, and you've got to be very careful with the food that you can eat, when you stagger and you shuffle and the walking's not so nifty, then you know you've arrived at the dreaded age of 50. I wish I was 50 again. I'm bloody 75 soon. Tales from the Jails. Do like and subscribe.